Welcome from Charlotte, North Carolina, as the Perfect 8 Cup Series prepares to run the 11th race of the season at Charlotte Motor Speedway for the Coca-Cola 600. It's the first time the Perfect 8 Cup Series will ever run at this historic 1.5 mile track, and we could not ask for a more beautiful day for a race. Hello, I'm Paul Jones, your commentator for today's race. We have only 5 races left in the season, where we have already seen exciting racing and good finishes. As the season winds down, the battle for the championship continues to heat up. 8 drivers remain in striking distance of the points lead. As we take a look at our point standings right now, we can see Denny Hamlin is first in points. He is up by 7 points over teammate Kyle Busch. Kyle Larson is third in points, 11 points back. Kevin Harvick is fourth, 23 points back. And Brad Keselowski, who is the points leader heading into Evergreen, our last race, is fifth, 29 points back after he wrecked out of that race. Now let's talk about Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin won last race at Evergreen Speedway, propelling him into the points lead. He's carrying a lot of momentum right now, looking very strong, very racy. He starts third on the grid, and he's looking to get back-to-back wins today. And that feat's only been accomplished once in the Perfect 8 Cup Series. Can he be the second guy to ever accomplish that? Kyle Larson had a quiet weekend at Evergreen. It's really been a quiet few months for that Chip Ganassi driver. He has seen his hot start peter out into just mediocre runs. He's looking to change that today. And he has a very good chance to do that. He starts second, and he's been really strong in practice. He's definitely one of the favorites to win today's race. And finally, before we get going, let's talk about our pole sitter. MTJ, Martin Truex Jr., claimed the pole for today's Coca-Cola 600. It has not been a good season for Truex. He only has one win. He has one win on the year at Wisconsin Motorsports Park. But despite that, he sits 13th in the series standings. It has not been a consistent year for that Furniture Row Racing team. And it's just not been the season they've been looking for. Truex really looks to have a strong end to the season. He wants to claim a couple of wins, maybe play spoiler while all these other guys are battling for the points. But he's looking to win a bunch of races. But he's got the car today. Let's see what he can do. So now let's go trackside to get the command to start engines.
Drivers, start your engines!
36 cars roll to life here at Charlotte Motor Speedway and roll off to begin the parade laps. As first, let's take a look at the starting grid before we get this race started. On row 1, we have Martin Truex Jr. and Kyle Larson. On row 2, we have Denny Hamlin and Ryan Blaney. On row 3, we have Alex Bowman and Kyle Busch. On row 4, we have Ricky Stenhouse and Joey Logano. On row 5, we have Jimmy Johnson and William Byron. On row 6, we have Kevin Harvick and Austin Dillon. On row 7, we have Kurt Busch and Eric Jones. On row 8, we have Eric Almirola and Chase Elliott. On row 9, we have Clint Bowyer and Jamie McMurray. On row 10, we have Daniel Suarez and Brad Keselowski. On row 11, we have Sam Tyler and Chris Buescher. On row 12, we have Bubba Wallace and Michael Castro. On row 13, we have Paul Menard and AJ Allmendinger. On row 14, we have Lawrence Tyler and Matt Kenseth. On row 15, we have Ryan Newman and Ty Dillon. On row 16, we have Michael McDowell and David Reagan. On row 17, we have Matt Tyler and Regan Smith. And then on row 18, we have Matt DiBenedetto and JJ Yeti. The green flag's in the air, and we are racing here at Charlotte. Larson stays side by side with Truex through 1 and 2, and he's going to clear Truex out of turn 2 using the outside line. Here comes Ryan Blaney behind for second. 3 wide towards the back of the field. Stenhouse with Johnson and Bowman battling for position. Meanwhile, up front, here comes Ryan Blaney to the inside of Kyle Larson. Heading into turn 1 and 2. Blaney getting a good run through 2, but Larson gets a great run off 2. Blaney stays with him though. Heading into turn 3, he has a slight advantage over Larson. Coming out of 4, Larson stays with him. As we're going to begin lap 3, Larson leads that lap by about half a car length. Heading into turn 1 and 2 again. Blaney getting the advantage. Larson stays with him on the outside, but Blaney's going to clear him on the backstretch. Here comes Truex to the inside of Larson now. Denny Hamlin also in that battle for second. As we come off turn 4, Kyle Larson continues to hold second. We got a battle for third now between Truex and Hamlin. Denny Hamlin starting to make some noise as he's going to clear Truex, and Jimmy Johnson rounds out the top 5 as we get a flyby of the field. Here comes Kyle Larson again. And coming off a 4, great run! He dives the inside of Blaney. As they go into turn 1, diving in the inside. He's going to have the advantage off 2. Blaney, though, stays on that outside lane. Heading into turn 3. Blaney stays with him. Coming out of 4. And Larson clears him finally. And he'll lead. Larson back on top. As we get a flyby of the field here. A lot of side-by-side racing throughout the field. As we take a look. Some great racing here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. As we go back up front, Blaney to the inside of Larson, and he gets loose. Hamlin dives to the inside of Blaney. Hamlin takes second. And now Blaney losing third. We got trouble. Byron's around. Oh, a vicious hit with Chase Elliott, his teammate. The caution is out. Carnage on the front stretch here. As William Byron caught up in that one. Sam Tyler caught up Chase Elliott. Hendrick Motorsports, half their team is done for the day, and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. caught up. We look at a replay. Looks like he just lost the air and spun out. Got a vicious hit from Chase Elliott. Man, that was a vicious hit. As we look at a replay, it just looks like maybe got loose off the nose of Harvick and just slid. He was spinning. He looked like he had it under control, went to avoid the barriers, and came right back up into his teammate Chase Elliott. Boyer barely gets through that. So you can see Stenhouse has nowhere to go. Tyler has nowhere to go. Just a chain reaction there. Everybody piling in. Tough break for William Byron. He was having a solid top 10 run today. It has not been a good season for him, and it continues not to be one. That stinks for that team, and also for Chase Elliott, Sam Tyler, and Stenhouse, who have not had great seasons either. As for the meantime, we're going to get the green flag. 3 laps to go here at Charlotte. 3 wide for second. Blaney to the inside of Hamlin. Hamlin falling back as Larson takes the lead, and Jimmy Johnson now into second. As we head into 3 and 4, Johnson closing in on Kyle Larson. As we come off of turn 4. 2 laps to go. Larson seeking his 3rd win of the season. Johnson looking for his 1st one. And turn 1, he hits the wall. Larson's at the wall. Here comes Jimmy Johnson to the inside. He clears him. Now Truex gonna pass Larson. Kyle Larson hits the wall of the lead, and he's falling back. Man, coming out of turn 4, white flag in the air for Jimmy Johnson. But Martin Truex Jr. is there. This is like the Louisville race last fall. As here they come off too. Truex looking for the lead. He comes out to the outside of 3 and 4. Can he get him? Not able to. Coming out of turn 4, Jimmy Johnson wins at Charlotte and claims his 1st win of the season. We got Larson sliding across the track, hit the wall. I guess he blew a tire. Jimmy Johnson wins at Charlotte. Let's look at a replay. The pass for the win coming into turn 1. Larson just gets loose and puts it in the wall. And that gives Johnson a chance to go by on the inside. Larson loses all his momentum and cannot recover. And Jimmy Johnson goes by, passes for the lead. And then Larson, just coming onto the front stretch, blows a tire, hits the wall. Comes home in 8th, though. I mean, despite all that, he still finishes 8th. But a tough break for Kyle Larson. after leading and dominating most of today. Jimmy celebrates his win at Charlotte as he does a burnout for the fans on the front stretch, claiming his first win of the season and making a statement for the championship fight. And saying he does not want to, don't count him out. As the finishing results, Martin Truex Jr., Ryan Blaney, Kyle Busch, and Kevin Harvick round out the top 5. Good runs for 2 points contenders in Kyle Busch and Kevin Harvick. Denny Hamlin finishes 11th, Brad Keselowski 12th. Not exactly the finishes those guys were looking for. Austin Dillon finishes 13th and Chris Buescher 15th. Decent runs for those guys. As we go back through the field here, Daniel Suarez, Ryan Newman. Newman's still trying to fight to stay in the top 10 at points. As we look back here, of course, the guys who wrecked out. As we take a look at our point standings, and we have a tie for the points lead. Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch, the Joe Gibbs teammates, tied for first. Kyle Larson 7 points back, and a tie for fourth. Kevin Harvick, Jimmy Johnson minus 17 points, and Brad Keselowski was 6th with minus 30 points. As we take a look at the rest of the field, Martin Truex Jr. 11th in points. Chase Elliott falls back to 12th in points. See back here, William Byron, Stenhouse. I mean, Tyler, not exactly the seasons they were looking for. As we continue to look at the rest of the point standings, we saw a good race today with Ryan Blaney and Kyle Larson battling for the lead the entire first half of the race. And then, of course, the entire complexity of the race changed when the caution came out, and that set up for a wild restart. Kyle Larson gets the jump. Everybody stacks up behind him, and Larson looked like he had this race won until hitting the wall with 2 laps to go. I mean, losing the lead to Johnson, who ultimately went on to win this race. Kyle Larson really needed some good luck, and he didn't get it. I mean, he still finished 8th despite hitting the wall, but I mean, just a tough break for Kyle Larson. But he still finished 8th, blowing a tire coming across the line, and he's 7 points back in third behind Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch for the points lead. So not a bad day for Kyle Larson, but not the day it was looking like. It was looking like it was going to be a lot better. Hamlin too looked strong, but until the bad restart put him from second place battling for the lead to finishing 11th. Tough luck for Denny Hamlin. He had a lot of momentum going into this race, and he was looking to put a cushion on that points lead. He wasn't able to. And finally, let's talk about the guy who won this race, Jimmy Johnson. He showed today why he has won 7 championships, performing under pressure when he needed to, and delivering a much-needed win for that team. That team needed a win to compete for a title, and right now, he's only 17 points back with 4 races left. With 5 guys within 17 points of one another, the championship might go to whoever's the hottest at the end of the season. So, it's going to be a very exciting couple of months. Our next race will also be here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, as the drivers will take on the Charlotte Roval. That will be out in a few weeks. But as for the meantime, thank you for watching, God bless, and good night.